last thing I wanted was to get this thing kickstarted, have it be super bullish, only to have to put the brakes on it in a week or two to do this migration. So that's where I had to, I would say, make an executive decision and say, we got to pump the brakes, we got to do this the right way, and we have to do the migration for the dog token before it goes live. This way, once it goes live, it's all hands on deck. We're not going to have to, slow things down and put the brakes on in 2 weeks after launch to do the migration. And with the dog and pig contracts that we're working on right now, we have built in a mechanism just in case something like this happens again, where PancakeSwap says, hey, we're shutting down the V2 syrup pools. We'll be able to more easily allow users to migrate into the new pool. So PancakeSwap didn't give any advance notice. We did know that they were launching V2 pools, but they gave no notice that they would be shutting down their V1 pools. And essentially, they just announced it literally the day we were about to push this live, which is good timing, right? And I like to think that when you put in the work and when you are prepared, and when you dot your I's and cross your T's, luck tends to work in your favor, and things like timing tend to just work out because we put ourselves in a position to take advantage if something like this does come up. So we made this decision, and what this means is we have to build some contracts to allow for the dog master chef and the dog's migration. But we already had our new pigs token, our new pig pen, and our new piggy bank contracts ready to go. So what we decided to do was to launch the pigs token with the piggy bank and the pig pen, because of course we want to have that capital paused for as little amount of time as possible. And it works out for the best, because if we can get the dog token performing and it's really mooning and it's really doing well, when the dog token and the dog contracts go live, there will be instant demand for them, because the best way to get the pigs token is to farm it through the dogs BUSD, dog BNB, and drip BUSD farms. So this is the plan, right? And right now we're doing the work on the pigs contracts, right? Piggy bank, pig pen, and the pigs token V2. So we can go live next week. And some people were saying, well, if the pigs token are live, why don't we just go live right away? And the reason for that is because when we got the announcement from PancakeSwap that we have to do these V2 migrations, we decided we'll launch the pigs token first, but the pig token and the pig pen contract and the piggy bank contract were designed to launch either at the same time or after the farm was live. Pig pen and pigs token launched at the same time as the farm, and piggy bank launched after. So what that means is we needed to prepare the contracts to be forward compatible. And what I mean by this is we had to make slight changes to them so they can be fully functional on their own, but then when the Animal Farm contracts, the rest of them, Master Chef contracts, and Dog Token is ready, we can plug them right in. So we needed to add, so we need to do some slight adjustments in their development to ensure that they're forward compatible. And really, this doesn't take much work, but it's most the Master Chef contract. And once we did that, we gave up ownership of it, which means the ownership is now in the hands of the community. And it also means we cannot add in additional functionality to it or do things like pull liquidity and move it over to a token that does have V2 integration and all of these things. So like the Pigs token, it will take a full community effort. And I can tell you right now, the way that the Pigs migration went as far as the community participation was great. Right? We got way over 95, close to 100% of tokens that could be sent in, and very quickly as well, like within the first 48 hours after we opened up the crediting contract. So we know this will go smooth as well. And, I'm not only looking forward to having the V2 integration because it opens the door to us making some improvements on that end, because the V2 Sarah pools are an improvement in themselves. But it also gives us an opportunity to show just how truly decentralized we are and how we can work as a community towards the greater good. In a direction that allows us all to prosper and us all to improve. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the work that everybody's put in to this Pigs migration. Now, so some people have noticed, right? I hope you guys have noticed that we did a new Pigs, a new Animal Farm UI, right? And this is something that I've wanted to do from the start. And due to some changes we made with our team, we were now able to do that. So, with all teams, with all development teams, first of all, let me say I act as the lead of the development team. And I take full responsibility for everything that is produced and launched from us as developers. And I'm proud of the work that we've done. But let me say that with all development teams, and when you're dealing with multiple people, things come up for people, right? And I take the leadership role to ensure that when it comes to holding keys, when for example, when I held the pig and dog keys before we migrated it over to the MasterChef contract, or when liquidity needs to be added, I'm the one that personally handles all of that, so I can personally assure that investor capital is protected. But whenever you're having a high level platform or any kind of high level business, you need to have supporting roles and partnerships, people that are part of the team, to take on various responsibilities. And whenever you have a team, and you've been working with people for years, there comes a time where things come up for people, right? And they may need a bit of a break, or they have a family thing come up, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not going to get into details out of respect for everybody, but we were having some issues with availability, right? And the way that we had allocated various responsibilities was quite segmented. And what this means is someone would be in charge of the UI, someone would be in charge of the contracts. Me, as a leader, would be working on both the UI and the contracts, and dealing with the community, and having a 1,000 foot vision on the whole thing, right? And for the past, I would say 4 or 5 months, we've had some issues of availability with a member of our team, essentially, and due to the way that things were segmented, it was causing delays, essentially. And then, it would be wait, and then, okay, now they're available, rush, like that. And it's been fairly stressful for the past 6 months or so. And I'd just like to say that we handled this in a great way on Friday, right? Last Friday. In a way where we maintained all of our team members. Everybody is extremely happy with the way it worked out. But we allowed for we made an adjustment to our development method where we can more easily share responsibilities. So, if someone's in charge of the UI, but they can't be available, it's very easy now for one of the other team members, either myself or one of our other team members, to pick that up for them right away. Whereas previously, we would be doing a lot of waiting. And then when they finally were available, a lot of rushing. So, because of these adjustments that we made, and I'd like, and just, to just clear things up, and just to, or I should say, just to make it very clear, every member of our team is great. We're all good friends, and we've all done great work, and I'm extremely appreciative for everybody on my team. But people know, everybody knows, right? We've been working for years with people. Occasionally things just come up. It's regular human nature, right? And everybody's very happy with the way we were able to address this. And now you guys see that this was addressed on Friday. Before the end of the weekend, we had a complete new UI built. The contracts and everything will be ready to go this week, and will be live next week. And we're just, operating on all cylinders, like we haven't in, I would say the past 4 or 5 months. Now, that isn't to say we haven't put our full effort into it, but I've already touched on it, right? So we're just in a better place than ever. And when you combine this, and that's a very big relief on me, right? Because this was stressful. And when you combine this with the fact that we have a great plan moving forward, for the Pigs token and Animal Farm, I feel better than I have in a long time and more confident than I have in a long time, because we're getting development done in the way that I want to get done, and in the way that I vision a great development team working. So I'm very, very happy about that. I posted a video of the new UI. I think it looks sleek, it looks clean. Plus, it makes it very clear how to utilize it. It's easy to use, and we set standards with our contracts. Our UIs left room for improvement, and I would say we're there now. We're in a place where our UIs are going to also set a standard, and I'm very, very, very happy about that. So let's talk about the Pigs migration and the adjustments that we're making here, right? To ensure that everybody who was a previous holder of Pigs token or were in the Pigs contracts are going to be in a significantly better place than they were before it was paused. And the opportunity for a new buyer to come in and see massive upside is also greater than it ever has been. So let's discuss some of these changes that we made. And right now, the pig stuff is basically wrapped, right? We have a little bit of time left for testing, but that's pretty much wrapped. And basically for the rest of the week and after the pig tokens launch with the piggy bank and the pig pen, since we have to launch new master chef contracts which have the V2 syrup pool and new dogs token, we're also looking right now, we're taking a very good look at how we can make slight improvements to that as well. Now, of course, we're not going to make any major changes because there's already existing holders, and we know those existing holders bought the dog token under the current contract and the current protocol. So there will be no major changes. But there are little things here and there that we can improve that I know the dog holders will appreciate. So let's talk about the piggy bank and the pig migration. So next week, we're going to do the crediting of people that held the pig tokens in their wallet or pig LP tokens in their wallet, or were in piggy bank, or were in the pig pen. Now, if you had pigs in your wallet or pigs LP token in your wallet, you have nothing to do at all. All we're going to do is airdrop pigs V2 and pigs V2 LP in your wallet. So when it goes live, you'll have them in your wallet, nothing to worry about. This is less than 3% of the total supply of pigs, which is extremely bullish, because what this means is the only pigs that will be available to sell on the market, if these people decide to sell, is less than 3% of the total supply, which won't even move the price a couple percent. And when you add that with all of the massive incentive we're providing at launch for people to take those pigs and lock them up either in the pig pen or piggy bank, I don't expect any of them to be put out on the market. In fact, I expect people to be buying up as much pigs as they can to take advantage of the opportunities that will be available at launch. So if you had the pigs token or pigs LP in your wallet before we paused, or at the point of pausing, I should say, just, you get nothing to worry about. Just pay attention. Follow what's going on. join the call channel. Let me post the call channel right now in the group. All right, I just posted right here. Everybody join. This is where I make major announcements. Okay. Now, if you had pigs in the form of pigs LP tokens in the piggy bank, you also have nothing to do as far as being credited. When we go live, what we are doing is taking the amount of LP that you deposited into the piggy bank minus the LP that you withdrew from the piggy bank, and then crediting you with this LP deposit in the order that deposits were made. So if you were the fourth person to buy into the piggy bank, when we do the credit, we're essentially taking the amount of LPs that were deposited by you, the amount of LPs that were drawn from you, taking the sum of this, and then doing simulated buys in the order that the actual buys took place, crediting piggy bank holders or investors, stakers, in the order that they made a deposit. And since the only people who attempted to drain from the piggy bank, even though it was largely not effective due to the fact that we limited withdrawals to a max of 3% a day, and the max withdrawal amount that you could ever make from the protocol is 5x your balance. These security protocols ensured that no capital was lost. It wasn't drained. But still, some LPs were withdrawn from this people. Not a lot, but some. It ensures that the botters and the first few people that bought with the intention of leeching the protocol, setting up automated contracts that only sell, that only claim and withdraw, will not be credited in the new piggy bank. And the capital, meaning the piglets and truffles that otherwise would have been going to them, will now be distributed to the rest of the holders. And when you account for this and the higher seed value, which essentially means a higher starting liquidity, it results in a much more fair distribution where essentially every user in the protocol, minus a handful of leechers, will end up with a lot more value, right? A lot more piglets, a lot more truffles, and a lot more LPs in the contract to go around. So this is also extremely, extremely bullish. Now, I want to say that if you're in the piggy bank, you don't need to do anything to be credited in it, but just like the people who held pigs or pigs LP in their wallet, be active, be aware, be watching the call channel for announcements. And of course, we never do anything without making many announcements over many days, just to be super fair about it. But do your diligence and, read announcements and be prepared. Because when this thing goes live, not only will you have an opportunity to add to your position, there will also be a 20% bonus in the first 48 hours, which means the bonus that you get for time locking will be compounded by an additional 20% bonus, because you'll get that 20% bonus on your principal, plus you'll earn a time locking bonus as well, which is added to your principal over the course of your stake, which allows you to see massive compound interest on your principal, which is huge. And there's no other protocol in crypto that allows you to earn compound interest on the bonus that you're earning for making an agreement not to claim your rewards for a period of time. This is extremely, extremely bullish. Now, for the Pigpen, these are the only people that are going to need to interact with the crediting dashboard on the Animal Farm website. And what you'll need to decide is whether you want to go into the Pigpen, be credited into the Pigpen just like you were at the moment the contracts were paused, or if you want to send BUSD into the crediting contract, which will then be used to pair with your pigs, the pigs that are allocated to you in the credit contract. So if you had 100 pigs in the Pigpen, you will have 100 pigs allocated to you in the credit contract. Now you can decide, I want to send them all to the Pigpen, or I want to send BUSD into the credit contract to pair these pigs with BUSD and send them to the piggy bank. And if you send them to the piggy bank within the first 48 hours, you also get this additional 20% bonus. Or you can do some combination of the two, where you could say, okay, I want to send 50 of my 100 pigs to the Pigpen, and I want to pair the other 50 with BUSD and send them to the piggy bank. This allows users to not only diversify across both products and both opportunities, but it also allows them to take advantage of the bonuses that are being made available to new capital that's coming into the system. For those who want to get into the Pigpen, you are going to be very excited about the improvements that we made to the protocol. Now, the Pigpen is designed as a type of ownership protocol or governance protocol. And what this means is for every pig that a staker has in the Pigpen represents a share ownership of the platform. And because of this, we put an initial week time locking, 7 days, which means that if you get into the Pigpen, you have to remain in the Pigpen, or essentially you cannot claim in the Pigpen for 7 days or less. Now, we made an improvement to this protocol that really drives home the fact that Pigpen and governance stakers represent a share ownership of the protocol. And this is, again, something that I was interested in doing from the start. But when you get a second chance to make an improvement, plus when your development team is in a better state than it ever has been to make these kinds of changes quickly and with a better quality than you ever have, you have to take advantage of these opportunities. I also want to ensure that the pig token is as bullish as anything we've ever seen in DeFi. And to do this, you need to ensure that there's as much incentive to lock it up and remove it from circulation as possible. At the same time, you're giving a strong value use case that motivates people to buy into it. So the way that we're operating the Pigpen vesting, essentially, is in the same type of protocol that you see in major traditional firms and traditional businesses where majority owners have vested shares. And the way that it will work is 2% of your balance, and when I say balance, I mean your principal, will be available for withdrawal every day. So what this means is, on day 1, 2% of your balance is available to withdraw. On day 2, 4%. On day 3, 6%. All the way up till day 50, where 100% will be available to withdraw. Now, we didn't want to adjust the vesting protocol without also adding in a massive new cash flow, which further incentivizes people to buy pigs and get into the pig pen, and essentially justify or further justify the demand for the pig pen. And the way we're doing this is by taking all pigs that are generated from deposit and withdrawal fees from the piggy bank, which is massive, and paying those out as dividends to the pig pen. And what this means is pig pen stakers will not only be earning millions of dollars worth of BUSD every month, they'll also be earning millions of dollars worth of pigs every month that they can choose to claim or compound into their stake, increasing their stake, further increasing the amount of BUSD and pigs that are being sent to the pigpen contract that will be allocated to them, and increasing their share ownership of the protocol as a whole. So we already have millions of dollars in the pigpen vault in the form of BUSD ready to be paid out. This will be being paid out at a rate of 3% a day from this vault. We also have millions of dollars worth of cake from the collateral rehypothecation that we've been doing, which will be liquidated for BUSD and injected into the pig pen when we go live, which greatly increases the amount of BUSD payout that will be available in the pig pen. But also, as we said we would do when we go live again, that we would create another massive cash flow and another massive benefit for those who were in the pig pen when we paused. And that is this pig's cash flow that's coming from the piggy bank, which is massive. And keep in mind, these are not pigs which are being inflated, right? We're not increasing the supply of pigs to pay out these dividends. They're coming from fees that would otherwise be in circulation if not for the piggy bank protocol. So it's massively bullish. And then on top of this, there's a 3% burn rate on pig tokens when it's sold. So between the incentive to lock up pigs, compound the pig dividends that you're earning, and the burn rate associated with selling pigs, all the incentives there for pigs being highly deflationary, or I should say all the game theory is there for the pigs token to be highly deflationary, and all of the incentive is there for people to be buying and locking up and removing pigs from circulation. And those who will have a partial vesting in Pigpen are not only going to be so happy that they have this pig pen position, they're going to be doing everything in their power to get and lock up as much pigs as they possibly can into the pig pen to get their share of BUSD and pigs that are being allocated to it. Now, the piggy bank, I believe, is the most bullish variable time locking protocol in all of crypto, where you can determine how long you want to abstain from claiming rewards, and for doing so, you get a massive bonus on your stake, which is added to your principal daily, allowing you to then compound it, earning interest on it. The next day's bonus is then added to this interest, available interest, allowing you to then compound it back in, allowing you to see massive compound interest and compound gains on your stake. Now, I've seen some people, they see protocols that have been around for 2 years, and, they come and go, right? Anybody that's been in the space for a long time has seen them come and go. But someone puts a new paint job on them, and next thing you know, everybody's excited about it. And people are like, do this, tell me, why don't you add this to this or add this? And people need to know that not only is the pig pen innovative, it's also completely original and has already proven to do a much better job at incentivizing people to sustain from claiming rewards from the protocol for a much longer period of time than any of these other protocols. And this has been proven by all of the stakes, all the time lock stakes that were made when V1 went live. Some other major improvements that we made are the ability to buy partial piglets. And this is so important, right? And everybody knows that if you've been part of any of these protocols that have two tokens, a token which determines the ROI you make and a token in which this ROI is paid out on, you know that the token that determines the ROI previously to our innovations in Piggy Bank could not be bought in fractions. Meaning, if you only had enough to buy a fraction of this token, the contract would return a value of 0 and you wouldn't get credited for it. And this is the same as if you were compounding. So, if you had yield that was generated, you went to compound it, but you didn't have enough to buy a full ROI token, Solidity cannot do decimals. They cannot do fractions. It will round, which means if it's even 0.999, it will round down to 0, meaning you will not get credited for that. And the reason why it was so important that we made this innovation is because the way that the bonus is paid out in Piggy Bank is that it's added every day to your available truffles, and in order to get credit for that day's bonus, you have to compound it into your stake, into your principal. So, making this innovation, right, that's never been done in any other protocol that allows for the ability to buy a partial token on both assets on the contract, now allows for even the smallest user to compound daily and benefit from those daily bonuses, which are huge, right? Now, we're also the only protocol of this kind that allows people to gift others a stake, that allows you to earn a referral bonus, which is dynamic. And this dynamic referral bonus is dependent on the dogs that you have in the dogs mastership, in the dogs single asset pool. Now, the way that is going to be addressed is that there's already so the dogs that are in the current dogs mastership will be accounted for. So all of these big, influencers and all of these people who had dog stakes and were doing referrals, doing referral bonuses, the contract, the Piggy Bank contract, will still be looking at this at these stakes, even though we're migrating to a V2. This way, you'll still be earning those referral bonuses. And we will set a minimal referral bonus until the V2 goes live. This way, if you're a new user coming into the system and have not got a chance to buy and stake dogs yet, because it's paused right now, it's not gone live yet, you still have the opportunity to earn a referral bonus. So the way we'll do it is there'll be a 2% referral bonus if you don't have dogs staked. And if you do have dogs staked in the initial protocol, then you will get your referral bonus based on the amount you have staked. And this is how we're benefiting existing users. Because if you already had a stake and you were already earning 4% on your referrals, you're going to continue to earn 4%. So this is how we're taking care of new users, but ensuring that we meet the obligations that were already made to existing stakers. So I'm super bullish about Pig Token and just launching this thing. And I believe, because there's only going to be about 3% or less than 3% of Pig tokens in circulation, and all of this demand to get into Pigpen and Piggy Bank at launch, especially in the first 48 hours, this thing's going to move, right? And then, soon as we launch Pigs, Piggy Bank, Pigpen, we're going to start the dogs migration process. The Pig token will be really making serious gains and really, making huge headway. So when the dogs token goes live, there'll be that demand there for the dogs token. And we'll be making slight adjustments to the protocol to even further incentivize and ensure that the demand will be there for dogs when we go live, right? And that's what we'll be working on for the rest of the week and the following week after that. But right now it's crunch time for pigs, so we can get this out next week. So of course, whenever you have to pause a protocol, you're going to have some complainers, right? Which is valid. And I understand that. But when you look at the overall picture, something unexpected happened. Our security protocol kicked in. It protected investor capital. It allowed us to make an adjustment, which is not just an adjustment to remedy the situation, but also major improvements to the protocol. And just like that, we're a week away from going back live, more bullish than ever. Compare that to what happens when other projects have something unexpected happen, right? Integrity is first and foremost. Integrity and respecting and protecting investor capital is always number one. Second is performance, which ties into protecting investor capital, of course. They go hand in hand. But first and foremost is always security and protecting investor capital. And this is why when we have something unexpected happen, capital is not lost. Because we have forethought and we think of, okay, if the worst possible thing happens, what do we have in place that will automatically trigger? And in our case, it was pausing. That way we could make an adjustment before any capital was lost. Now, we've taken a good look at number one. How could we make improvements so if something unexpected ever happens again, how can we protect investor capital without needing to pause the whole protocol? And we've come up with a type of quarantine method that effectively allows us to quarantine different functionalities in the protocol. So if something unexpected happens, we can quarantine that element of the project and allow the rest of the project to be fully functioning. So whenever you hit a roadblock or bump in the road, that is always an opportunity to build and improve. And we've taken full advantage of this. And I'm very, very happy about it. Right? I feel very good right now about the place that we're in. From a team aspect, from a development aspect, from the how I feel that pigs and Animal Farm are going to perform. Very, very positive right now. Not only this, right? We've never had a major vulnerability or a major exploit. The bump in the road that we hit was someone sniping the launch, just buying a large amount at listing, more than we would have allowed given the anti-bot protocols, which is why the system realized this and paused. Now, we have also came up with several methods that we can use moving forward when we do our next launch to ensure that even if someone does snipe the listing, it won't have a major negative effect or a negative effect at all on the protocol. Right? Because you really cannot prevent sniping. The only way to prevent sniping is to prevent buying, or to make it very hard for legitimate users to buy. But there are other methods you can use to ensure that if someone does snipe, it essentially just acts as a large buy, a large contribution to the project, and can be used to benefit everybody in the project, including the sniper, right? It's not even negative for him. And some ways you do that is through bonding curves, and, there are several methods that you can utilize that we've put a lot of work into developing our method for future launches to account for this. So I know that because we've been paused for a little while, right, coming up on a couple of months, there's going to be some people that are complaining. But when these people see the way that Pigs is going to perform, they're going to be putting their shoe in their mouth, and they're going to be buying more. And I love that more than anything, right? I love, making people eat their own shoe when it comes to us performing. Now, let me just talk about a few other things, right? Because that's Pigs, Piggy Bank, Animal Farm, Pigpen. Very excited about that. I just secured a major deal for the DAO group. We just had the lawyers approve everything today, and we're ready to go. I'll be posting the form for contribution in the DAO group today. And this is for a venture capital marketplace that we're funding before it goes public. This is a third-party raise, right? So I'm not the developer of this project, but I'm an advisor for the project. The developers are the same founders of Paxful, right? The number one or number two peer-to-peer Bitcoin exchange, right? It goes back and forth between one or two with local Bitcoins. They have a very strong board, which has already launched 3 unicorn companies. When I say unicorn companies, I mean companies that were created from the ground up and then sold for billions of dollars. And Paxful is one of them. He sold Paxful a couple years ago. And this is a marketplace that allows developers to sell fully developed projects, to sell crypto domains, to sell services, such as the Scratch Ticket protocol that we're very close to being able to launch. Essentially, we're right there. The development is essentially done. We just want to get Animal Farm and all of this off the ground before we start promoting that and getting that launch going. But it's a type of marketplace that is filling a first mover demand that we see is massive, right? Venture capital, in this sense, is huge in traditional markets. And they're the first to bring this to DeFi. And the board and the founder is, if anybody can do it, they can do it. So that alone, right, the idea is solid, and who's behind it, made me want to be a part of it. Then they asked me to come on as a broker and advisor on their protocol, so I can have more oversight than the average user. And I'm an early investor in the protocol as well, right? When I say I'm an angel investor in the protocol, so I got in as early as you could on this, and I'm playing a role, to advise them along the way and help them, make sure everything's running smooth on their end. And I believe this project is going to be big, right? They're going to be launching in Q3 of this year, and they'll be fully operational by Q4 of this year. And essentially, they've tokenized the venture capital market. And what this means is there's a listing fee if you want to sell a product or service or domain or full development protocol, whatever you're selling on there. There's a listing fee. This listing fee goes to buying their token. There's also a successful sale fee when someone actually sells the protocol, which goes into buying their token. And then the thing that I'm the most bullish about, because that alone, I was like, okay, that sounds okay, but it's not really scalable, but it's okay. But the thing that I think is the most bullish about the protocol is they'll be working with their advisors, their lawyers, right? And I'm one of those advisors, to look at the top 3 to 5% of protocols that are for sale, and they'll be buying them themselves. So they'll take ownership of those projects, tokenize ownership of those projects with their own token in a type of DAO model, and now their Acquirify token will represent a share ownership of these other platforms, services, businesses as well. So essentially, Acquirify will be acquiring these businesses, and the Acquirify token represents a share of Acquirify ownership. So I think this is going to be a home run. We've secured both seed and private round, which is the best you can get. And we'll be doing a raise for them starting very soon in the DAO. we're already starting the whitelisting process. So today I'll be posting a Google form where people will need to put how much they want to contribute and giving their address. Of course, it's whitelisted to DAO members only, so you need to be in the DAO group to even get access to it. And if you hit /DAO in the Animal Farm group, let me just do that. You'll be able to get access to this deal. So in order to get access to the DAO, you need to hold the REAP token. The REAP token is the first token I ever launched. It's about 2 years old. And that should give everybody huge confidence in the fact that when I develop something new, I don't move on. I continue to add to the ecosystem and continue to add value so we raise all ships. And the REAP token is the first project I ever launched, and we're still creating value to it to this day. You need to hold the REAP token, 300 of them. There's a 2% tax on it, which goes to a burn rate and reflective reward for all of the REAP holders. And you need to, so if you do buy these REAP tokens, you need to buy at least 307 of them, because that 2% tax would take you under the 300 threshold that you need to get DAO access. But if you have questions about how to join the DAO, ask in the group. Someone will help you. But if you type /DAO, the instructions are there. This is extremely bullish, right? I also just got reached out to by the second biggest exchange on BSC, who's interested in a partnership for both Drip and Animal Farm. We have a PancakeSwap who reached out for a partnership. We have Chainlink, who we will be partnering with for the Scratch Ticket protocol. So we have so much to do and so much that I'm looking forward to build with Drip. Now is also an amazing time to get into Drip while the attention is on Animal Farm. Because I promise you, once we get these this migration complete with Animal Farm, our full focus will be on promoting Animal Farm, working on the next major development layer for Drip, getting the Scratch Ticket protocol launched, and securing deals for the DAO. This is what my full focus is on, right? Those 4 main objectives. And I'm going to keep it there because, of course, I could always add, there's always more to do, but I want to be laser focused on these 4 things. Promoting and marketing our existing projects, securing additional deals for the DAO, working on our next major development and partnership for Drip, which will be lending, right? This is what I'm more excited about anything, is lending. A protocol that allows drippers to lend to other drippers. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to give the idea away. But essentially, if you're a staker in Drip, or even if you're not a staker in Drip, but you want to lend capital, which would essentially make you a staker in Drip, you'll be able to lend capital to other drippers with a type of automated protection built in place to ensure that you'll get paid back on your loan, plus interest, and the dripper gets essentially a self-paying loan that they can decide to pay back early so they don't pay as much interest, or say they take out the loan, they lose it. That's fine because the loan will pay back itself over time from the yield that they're earning from their drip stake. And their drip stake essentially acts as collateral for the loan. So I can't give away any more than that. But it's super, super bullish, and that's what our next major focus will be on Drip. And that's going to take Drip, which right now I believe is the best staking protocol, best daily ROI, and just transform it into something way, way bigger. I believe it's with this, it will be the biggest thing in crypto. So it will be the only protocol that allows you to do trustless loans to other participants in the network, not just to, a loan to a major exchange or not Certic, but whatever they call it, Centric or whatever they're called, Certic or no, not Certic, Centric, yeah, I believe, or these other major, centralized organizations that you can lend to. No, this is going to be trustless loans to your fellow drippers in the network, and it's just massive, guys. So I just had some people show up to my house. You could probably hear my dog barking. And I pretty much wrapped it up anyways. But tomorrow I'll be doing an interview at 2 p.m. EST. Oh, no, sorry. Today was noon. Tomorrow at noon EST. And I'll go further into it. And I'll be answering questions as well. So I look forward to all of you being there. I'm extremely excited about everything we have coming up, guys. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being patient. We're in a better place than ever. And I'm just excited. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.